Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Blackwater podcast. Not too much to say for the intro on this, but I'm not in this one. So it's going to be up to the other three boys to entertain you for this week, and they're talking about some underrated black metal bands. Considering we thought it's a good idea for them to do that while I'm not there, as they are much more into the genre than I am. But I'll leave you to that. That's the only time you're going to hear my voice in this entire podcast. And enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome
Hello.
to episode something I don't remember of Blackwater podcast.
Voted.
We have a
Can't even
couple things
remember
on
what
the
episode we're
agenda
doing.
today, but first of all, what have you guys been doing recently, if anything?
Same old. Studying, hockey,
Yeah.
working. Um, just glad that the Brit's not here today. So just the three of us. Yeah. No war's gonna start today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And now we can actually talk about black metal, right? And I heard that's what's Yeah, I on the
Yeah.
agenda today.
Yeah. So for me, I went to a ghost show on Friday. This on
Yeah,
Sunday.
I saw your tweet on it.
Which was sick. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna buy. Me and my dad we were gonna buy T-shirts, but they were $60 each for T-shirt.
Yeah, 60 Bro. for that's kind of insane.
So we just ordered them online instead today.
Yeah, way better. And how much are they online?
Well, one T-shirt was gonna cost 600 Swedish crown, which is about $60 at the show. And when we ordered them online, we got two T-shirts plus shipping for 613 Swedish crown.
Oh,
So
so
we
like
got-
$30 each.
Yeah. Or I think there were $28, and then the rest was shipping.
Plus the shipping.
Yeah.
Just random.
So we got
That's a good deal.
we got two T-shirts, just ordering them for the same price as buying one at the show.
I mean, that's fair. Fuck spending that much.
Yeah.
It's like the creator show. The hats cost $50.
Jesus. Nice.
And the thing doesn't even fit my head. It's too fat.
Well, I guess let's get into the main event of today's episode, which is we are each going to be going over 3 modern black metal albums that we think are underrated, and we think that deserves more attention. So, I guess Nick, you can start us off with your first pick.
So I've got. I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm sorry if I butcher this. It's Equinox Vigil by NX Orum. They're from the US. They're like a. I guess you could say melodic black metal. They're more standard, but they do have some nice melodies here and there. I do highly recommend. Their album covers are sick too. They're very like old school looking, like with nature, and it's a good listen, you know. I hear Hate you. that I included a US band. I have one as well. Don't worry. I need to keep my anti-US propaganda up. Don't worry, I have mine as well.
All right, Vitor, what's your first pick?
Well, my US pick, I'll start off with that one. And you like this one as well, Nick, so don't shit on the US. It's Battle Dagraph, the album Eek. Dark Dragons. Yep, Dark Dragons of the Cosmos. It's extremely underrated. They should have way more success than they have. And I think Dark Dragons of the Cosmos is the atmospheric black metal album for someone that's looking to get into it. Because yeah, I mean it's obviously it's extreme metal, but it's also light in a way to get into it. Because It's not too intense. it's
Like
not
the
too
album
intense,
cover.
exactly. It's a beautiful album cover. It's not intense. Well, it is intense, but it's not intense to the point where. But It it's loses you. intense, but it's pretty simple in what it's doing, and it's a good intro to atmospheric black metal. It was my intro to atmospheric black metal, and I love the genre, so I think that it plays a big role in that.
Yeah.
And again, I can should have confirm it's way more great success than they have. Yeah, it's Yeah, phenomenal. they've only got like 600 monthly listeners. They really deserve more. They are very
don't want to necessarily use the word underground, but they are, and they shouldn't be. They really shouldn't be.
Like, their
Although in black
atmosphere
metal,
is like some of the best I've heard.
I know it's beautiful, and a lot of people refer to Battle Diagraph as budget Paisage River, but I think they're better than Paisage the River. I think Paisage is great, but it just goes to show they deserve way more credit.
Yeah, I never heard them, so check them out.
I definitely think you would like it.
You definitely will not regret it. Trust me.
Yeah.
So my first pick is from
Let's hear it.
an band from Denver, Colorado, in the United States of A. It is a band called Wayfair.
Yeah, I've heard
Another U.S. band.
Yes, another U.S. band.
No,
We love the U.S.
stop it no more. No, we don't.
This
Damn it.
album is their latest album, their 2023 album called American Gothic. Wayfair, they are very, very unique because they aren't just, regular black metal. They mix black metal with Gothic country, which sounds really weird, but it works very, very well.
It's still weird, by the way, but it's great.
Yeah, like it has this like atmosphere to it that is like, I don't know, it's just really fucking good. I only listened to it for the first time like a week ago or something. They're probably my favorite modern black metal band now. I think that could also just be though, because I'm just generally a sucker for like Western Gothic stuff. Like Blood Meridian is one of my favorite books of all time, and that's obviously Gothic country is very tied to Western Gothic, the literature version of that. But yeah, I think it's a super, super unique album, a very underrated album, and a very good album. And one thing I'll say is Wayfarer, they have the same band members as the band Stormkeep, if any of you know that band.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think so.
And they have the same drummer as Blood Incantation as well, Isaac Falk.
Oh, okay. Peak
Peak.
incantation.
Yeah.
I'm glad Brit's not here to dispute that.
I've seen a little bit of Blood Incantation slander recently on my Twitter.
Bunch of bums.
And I don't know why. I don't know what it is with it. The moment a band starts getting a lot of praise, it seems like
because they're a bunch of bums.
they just spawn just to shit on it to say they're different. I'm not sure what happens, but it just does.
They're just trying not to fit in, you know. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Okay, at least you know. Okay. Well, yeah, there you go. Just want to get that out of the way.
But yeah, so if you like Blood Incantation and if you like Stormkeep,
Stormkeep?
Yeah. Wayfarer.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do know them. I thought you said a different band.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stormkeep, I know Stormkeep.
They're one of the same drummer because the guy who's the drummer in Blood Incantation and Wayfarer, Isaac Falk, I'm pretty sure he's the guitarist and vocalist in Stormkeep. So I'm pretty sure
no wonder they're peak.
Wayfarer and Stormkeep they don't have the same drummer. So there's one different member, I think, or something like that. But yeah.
Great band. Not gonna lie, I would sacrifice you for another Stormkeep album.
It's probably fucking coming soon, man.
I'll sign below that.
They released that Dungeon Synth EP in like 2023, so.
Yeah, but I don't want no Dungeon Synth. I want fucking melodic black metal. I don't want
that. No, Dungeon Synth is great.
You gotta get some patience. You need more patience.
Dungeon Synth's good, but not a whole project of it, you know?
You need some fucking patience, man.
You're speaking to the wrong person here.
Oh.
It's my turn now, yeah?
Yeah. What's your second pick, Nick?
So, I've got another US band. We're slacking here, guys.
What?
I've got The Timeless Ever Present by Vimeo. Or Vimeo. I don't know how to pronounce it. But that album cover is why I listen to it. It is fucking awesome looking. It's got like a green sword. That shit's melodic. It's the melodies,
how do you pronounce
chord progressions.
Spell the band name.
Vimir, it's Vimur. So I think it's Vimir or Vimir.
Oh, Vimmer.
Vimmer, yeah, all that. Just look at that album cover. That's peak.
Sick. That's a cool fucking album cover, I won't lie.
I found that band last week or during the week, and that shit is magic.
Yeah. Alright, Vitor, what's your second pick?
My second pick is a band from Iceland. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
did you look at that?
Called Almyrkvi. I think that's how you pronounce it.
How do you spell it?
Almyrkvi. Almyrkvi.
Almyrkvi. Yeah, that's like
Yep. And the album is called Umbra. And it's very similar in sound to Battle Digraph, but it's softer. There's clean vocals, and clean vocals in atmospheric black mode is not something you find often, but I think it's extremely unique, and that's why I think they're super underrated because nobody talks about them, and I think they're super unique, and I love their sound. There's nothing else to say. I think they're great, and again, little to no recognition.
Yeah.
Okay. Iceland has a really not many black metal bands, but the black metal bands that do come there are always so good.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen as well. Yeah.
They are a very small country. I think they only have a population.
There's only they don't even have 1 million people.
Yeah, they have like 500, 600,000 people, something like that.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that there aren't that many bands out there. But I do agree that when you do get an Icelandic band, they are fucking great every single time.
Feels like they got to work extra hard to.
Yeah.
I'll
it's
always
fair.
listen to an Icelandic band.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the genre.
Unless
it's like
Iceland's
NSBM,
just a
but-
great country. I want to go there. It's the only
It's so peaceful.
it's the only country in the Nordics that I haven't been to.
Well,
I don't know about
been
peaceful.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I have been to Denmark.
Oh, ew! Why do you want to go there?
Well, I didn't want to go there, but
I'm
we
joking.
had to go there because our flights have stopped there, a middle landing multiple times, and I was just been
My
there a few
condolences.
times when I was a kid.
My condolences. I'm joking, by the way.
But yeah, so I guess I'll go on to my second pick now, which is a band that, if you know me, I've been talking about this band a lot.
Mm.
That is the band Panzerfaust from Ontario, Canada.
Ah, yes.
Peak.
And
Yes.
I'm going to talk about their 2019 album, which is called Sons of Perdition Chapter 1, War, Horrid War. I think Panzerfaust, they just have such an insanely unique sound that I really think is what really makes them one of the best in modern black metal. Because there's no other band that sounds like Panzerfaust. Like, they sound super, super unique.
It's hard to do that in black metal.
Yeah, like black metal
Very hard.
is one of those genres where it's kind of hard. Like, it's a very homogenized genre. But I think Panzerfaust do a really good job of putting forth this basically completely new and unique sound. Like, I really like the way that they use, like, it's kind of like atmospheric sludge metal influences, and they've got a lot of dissonance in their music. Yeah, you could argue the dissonant black metal sometimes. Also, just their melodies are also just done really uniquely. They're not just like, standard tremolo pick riffs. Like they do a decent bit of tapping. Like they do a lot of unique stuff that I think works really well. Another thing that I like about Panzerfaust is that they don't just have just blast beats and double bass drums throughout the entire song. They have a lot of rhythmic variety in the drums. And a lot of the times in their songs, it'll almost be like the drums are playing the leads, like they almost like drum solos, which I think is pretty cool. Like they have moments where like the drums are at the forefront, where you're mostly meant to be paying attention to the drums, which I think is really cool. There's not a lot of black metal bands. Like most black metal bands, you just have blast beats and double bass drums, and that's it. So I really like that they actually try to diversify the drum sound and not just, bass drumming and then forget about it.
Sometimes to me they sound like a bit avant-garde as well.
Yeah, definitely. They also have another thing I think they're cool is they have 2 vocalists. They don't just have one. And so when they kind of when you have that kind of dual vocal style where there's 2 vocalists both going at it, I think it adds another element to the music that makes it even better. They also is a black metal band where you can actually hear the bass, which is another thing that's pretty rare. A lot of the times, with black metal, the bass kind of gets buried in the mix, but with Panzerfaust, you can actually kind of it's not like you can actually kind of hear it, and they also give actual attention to it and not just have it be just there in the background. They don't really do anything with it. You can actually hear it. It actually does something other than just be there. And I think one of the reasons they do that is that they only have one guitarist, so they only have one guitar playing.
Okay, so it's not as impressive, maybe.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I think because they only it's not as the guitar isn't constantly in your ear. If you get what I mean. You know what I mean when you listen to
I like that. I like it.
You always I'm not saying it's bad. Having tremolo pick the guitars to kind of song.
Yeah.
But I think the way that Panzerfaust do it, where they use the guitar more sparingly, I guess you could say, I think it works out really well.
And let's the other instruments shine.
Yeah. Because I think with a lot of black metal, all the attention gets put on the guitars, and then the other instruments, they're just kind of there. Whereas with Panzerfaust, they let the other instruments actually do something, and not just other than just be there, which I like. And I also saw this band live last year. I think I've talked about this on the podcast before. They opened for Canona Fever when I saw them, which was a very sick show. The volume was maybe a little bit high, but my ears were ringing by the end. But other than that,
well, if you did you wear earplugs?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, good.
No,
always wear earplugs to a concert, doesn't?
Yes.
If people call you a pussy, don't listen to them. You'd rather be able to hear in 50 years than not.
Yeah. Because the volume of their show was way higher than what Canona. So I don't really know what happened there, but it was a great show. It's probably the best show that I've ever been to. It was a fucking phenomenal show. And yeah, I think that's probably all I have to say about that. Let Nick go over to your third and final pick.
For my third and final pick, it's not a US band.
I know it.
It's actually a band from Russia.
Ooh.
They're called Abagorium. I've got the band and the album's called Foretaste of Justice by Abagorium. And they're from Russia. Which is... A lot of Russian black metal is I don't know how to put it. It doesn't have that same edge as a lot of other black metal. It just feels a lot different. I don't know, it sounds different. It doesn't hit the same. But this band, it does. They have that... I was going to say European sound, but Russia's in Europe, but...
I mean, technically half of Russia is in Asia.
It has that European, Germany, Sweden's, black metal sound.
Yeah.
The Scandinavian and Eastern Europe black metal sound. But, they're in Russia, and it's like...
Well, Russia is Eastern Europe.
Yeah, but I mean Germany, Poland...
Germany is not Eastern...
Shut up!
Eastern Europe.
Look, man, it's 2 in the morning. Give me a break, alright?
Alright.
Give me a break. It's 2 in the morning. I'm tired. Is this how you feel whenever we do a podcast?
Yeah. But except it's 4 in the morning for me usually.
Maybe we should start doing it this time of night.
Yeah, maybe, but...
Anyways, keep going. I'll keep going, hold on.
Yeah.
But Oh, it's unique. It's a good. The album cover is peak too. It's like a demon monster or something on the album cover. I'm not sure, but no, I do recommend.
Yeah. All right, Vitor, your third and final pick.
We headed into this episode looking for 2015 and up, right, considering modern black metal albums. But this album is, I'm gonna pick this album. It's not 2015, it's 2014. But I'll still consider it for two reasons. One, I fucking love this band, and two, they sound way more modern than 2014. And they're extremely underrated. I talk about it a lot on Twitter, and it's by the German band Dark Fortress, Venereal Dawn.
Oh, yeah, you
Yes.
talked about this band before.
It's criminally underrated. They split. Like, I can't believe I'm never gonna watch these guys live. It's a crime, really. It's, to me, they're like one of the best to ever do it. Melodic black metal in general, and they have about 10K monthly listeners, I think, on Spotify. Like, these guys should be massive, but they're not, and I think it's a crime. Probably my all-time favorite vocalist is in this band, Morian. Dude's fucking phenomenal. But everything about this band I'm a big fan of. So very unfortunate that they don't have as much recognition.
I do love the Dark Fortress.
Apparently, a Dark Fortress song was in Brutal Legend.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
There's just something about German black metal that just hits so different compared to other countries. I don't know what it is.
I think they just have a beautiful blend of aggression with melody, and that's what really gets me. That's how I like my black metal. Because I'll be honest, I can listen to in your face aggressive kind of black metal, but
Raw black metal.
yeah, I mean it can get tiring for me real quick. Like, I love me some Dark Throne,
Yeah, it gets repetitive. Dark
yeah,
Throne's Norwegian, not German.
No, I'm not talking about Germany.
No. Oh, okay.
But,
I thought you were still talking about Germany.
No, I'm talking about Germany. Just in general, like, I can listen to raw black metal, but it's not my favorite type of black metal.
It's not my favorite either, but I still.
Yeah, no, but I know that some black metal heads are gonna listen to me and think I'm a poser or some shit, and I don't care. I like my black metal how I like my black metal, and Dark Fortress is just, I did start off as a prog head, so I'm not naturally a black metal. I walked into black metal. I wasn't born in it, to say, right? So I do have my tendencies, and I think Dark Fortress have a beautiful blend of what I like.
Yeah. Me personally, U.S. and Canada are probably my favorite countries when it comes to black metal, and I think the main reason for that is because I think those are the countries where there are the most bands who are like doing something new and aren't just doing, like, I love melodic black metal and whatnot, but it is nice when bands innovate a little bit and try something new, try something that isn't just melodic black metal for the 1 millionth time. And I think I see the most, at least from my experience, I see the most of that out of the US and Canada.
Yeah.
I just feel like
Absolutely.
US black metal doesn't have that same edge. It doesn't have that same feeling.
But they've been building it. I think they weren't.
It's definitely better than modern, but like 90s, 2000s.
No, absolutely not. But they're definitely gaining their space.
Yeah, there's definitely better modern. But the early US black metal really very hit or miss.
No.
It doesn't have that same feeling.
Yep.
It just kind of feels forced, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
So I'm gonna go on to my third and final pick. That is a melodic black metal album, 2023. It is called Veil of Death Rupture, and it is by a band called Asseground from the Netherlands.
Netherlands. That's interesting.
Yeah. So this was originally, this was my album of the year. It has been replaced by Wayfair now that I've heard their album. And this album, like, it doesn't like do anything like new. Really, like it is just melodic black metal, but it's melodic black metal done really, really, really well. Um, the riffs are good, the vocals are great, everything about it. It's just really, really well executed melodic black metal. Another thing that I think is cool about them is that House the Ground is an all-girl black metal band. Like it's all the members are
Oh,
women,
okay.
which in black metal is pretty rare.
That's rare.
Yeah, it's not very common. So I like supporting bands that have women members.
Can't imagine what their fucking comment sections are like on that fucking.
Yeah, I've
Christ.
seen the few times that I've seen them be talked about on Twitter. People have said some not very nice things in the reply sections. I think it's not great. I do wish that extreme metal was less misogynistic, but that's why I'm doing what I can and supporting bands with women. That cycle, but yeah, really good album. Again, it's not really doing like anything new or anything, but it's just a good album. It's well executed, like.
If you're purely hating the music because it's a woman singing, you are missing out on peak music. On some peak music.
Very true. I remember what's that one band like Absu or whatever? I remember they kicked out one of their members.
Oh yeah, Absu, yeah. Because
she came out.
They came out as trans.
Yeah, they came out as trans, but they didn't kick
And they
her.
kicked her out
They didn't
because
kick. No. They didn't kick her out of the band because she was trans. If I remember correctly, they kicked her out of the band because she was now a woman, and apparently women don't have a place in black metal.
Oh, that's just cap.
Yeah,
That is so lame.
I could be. At least I think that was the reason. I could be talking about it out of my ass thing, but I'm pretty sure I remember that.
Yeah, I do. I think it was Absu.
Yeah. I know Absu kicked out. Remember their trans member. I don't know if it was because they were trans though. Like I don't know if it was because they were transphobic though, or if it was because they were misogynistic. It's one of the two.
Long story short, they're fucking losers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, with that, I guess it's time to move on to
banger of a review coming.
2025 album.
I reckon you go first this time, Hugo.
All right. So my pick this time is an album called Tooth and Nail by a band called Dormant Ordeal. Which is it's a Polish band. And it is like blackened / technical death metal with like some dissonant death metal elements. It's a pretty unique sound, I'd say. And it is just really, really fucking good death metal. The riffs are amazing. Vocals are amazing. The drumming on this album is definitely the best part about it. The drumming on this album is insanely good. Absolutely top tier drumming.
Goated.
It has like it's also really good because it kicks you off right in the start and then it just punches you in the face and it just doesn't really stop punching in the face. Yeah, it's just it's a really good album. Sadly, they're Polish. Sadly, but yeah,
Farad's gonna be on your ass.
Really good album. I've seen quite a few people talk about this album on Twitter, which is how I discovered it. But if you haven't listened to it yourself yet, go listen to it. It's great. So I'm gonna give it over to you now, Nick.
I have got. I don't know how to pronounce this band either. It is an LSC and this is in brackets, hold on, 1952 to 1976, sorry, by Under the Night Sky. I think it's like a concept album. That's why it's got like the weird title, because the album before it also has the same thing. So I think it's like part 2 of that album. I haven't listened to that one yet, so I'm not sure. But they're a German band. It's like avant-garde black metal, and currently that album is my album of the year. I love the wackiness, the experimentation, the is it the I don't know what the word is. The wackiness, that's it.
Mm.
And it's like it's done very well. Like avant-garde black metal is not like hit or miss a lot of the time, but this one's like really good. I very much recommend, and it's like Germany. Of course, it's gonna be peak black metal.
Well, as long as it's not an SPM. There's a lot of injury.
No. Surprisingly, they don't. Germany doesn't actually have a lot
No,
compared to other
they
countries.
definitely do.
Compared to other countries, at least. I mean, yeah, they've got.
Well, I mean,
definitely
I
have
don't
some.
think they have any less than other countries. But I guess.
No, I feel like a lot of. You'd be surprised against how many German bands are against.
My fucking mutual, he's from Germany. He says there's tons of fucking NSPM labels.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but compared to other countries,
I don't know.
it's surprisingly not as many.
I don't know. I don't think I agree with that. But let's move on to Theodore's 2025 album.
You know, we talked about black metal a lot in this episode, but my pick for this episode for 2025 album is The Passing by Jacob Rubbers. It's a progressive rock album, and the only reason why it's not my prog rock album of the year is because Steven Wilson released the overview. It is really, really good. It's a fantastic album. It really caught me by surprise too, because I had seen some people talk about it, you know, saying it was good or whatever, but it surpassed my expectations. It's really, really good. It gives me kind of a vibe of maybe some it has some Steven Wilson to it. There's definitely some Porcupine Tree inspiration.
Fucking Steven.
There's definitely some inspiration on it. There's maybe some little bit of Opeth passages as well. Maybe some Kim Crimson. It's very all over the place. A lot of inspirations, and I think it's really, really, really good. I don't know how many other works Jacob Rubbers has. This was my first album that I ever
It
listened.
seems like it's his debut, judging by album year.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if you worked with any other bands and whatever, but I definitely think it's exciting for whatever he has to release in the future. It was a very, very good listen.
I need to get into more modern prog rock.
Modern prog is really good, and a lot of old heads like to say that prog rock is dead, and it's just really not.
The Clowns.
Oh, there you go.
The modern prog rock I've heard is good.
My favorite band of all time is technically a modern prog rock band.
Mm.
Oh, hold on a minute.
This
This is gonna be off topic here.
Mm.
But Crystal Palace are currently beating Liverpool.
Really now?
They might win the game. There's about 20 something minutes left. I
That's
don't know with
unbelievable.
extra time, but
Well, it's actually very believable.
if they beat Liverpool, we're
Are you
making
gonna be
top
happy?
10 next year. We're making top 10 next year.
Mm.
Sorry, off topic. I had to tell someone.
So let's move on to the third and final topic of today's episode. It's been kind of a short one, but we do have a missing member. Let's move on to the final event of today, and that is we're going to be talking about my favorite album of all time, Storm of the Light Spain by Dissection.
Peak.
It is the album that got me into extreme metal and kind of got me more into metal in general. Like I liked metal before I heard Dissection, but I wasn't like a metalhead. It wasn't my favorite genre of music. But when I first listened to this album, I my mind was just absolutely blown, and I just fell in love with extreme metal. And you know, I think it's just like it's just like evil sounding atmosphere to it that I think is really really good. Like it just sounds like it sounds like the fucking like it sounds like it's the Grim Reaper singing. I think the album cover contributes to that really well. The album cover is one of the best album covers of all time. It's so badass.
Yeah, I
It's
love
iconic.
the cover. I love
Yeah,
the cover
The
so much.
definition of iconic.
Yeah, it is extremely iconic. I mean, I had it as my profile picture for a very long time. On Twitter and everywhere else.
We made some funny photos of you with that one.
um, and I think it is probably Dissection's best album. I think that the Somberland is definitely close. Saying to Somberland is also really.
I love the Summerlin. Love the
They're
Summerlin.
both 10 out of 10s, but Storm
Yeah.
is just.
I think Storm is a little bit more refined, a little bit more like focused, I guess you could say. And then obviously there's Rain Cows.
We don't speak of that shit.
It
Boy, slow down.
is, yeah, not very good.
It is bland. It is boring. How did the same man that wrote Sumberland and Storm of the Light's Bane write that?
He probably went crazy when he was in prison or something.
Spoken on that John Pack. Let's be
yeah,
serious though. For
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
He's such a cunt.
Should probably make a disclaimer that we do not support John as a person.
We don't
It's
support
very-
Nazis in general.
Very much separate the art from the artist kind of situation here. He's not obviously a very, very bad person. He's an extremely deplorable person. He did some very, very, very things.
Well, no, he was just a cunt.
Yeah, and he was a mess. And luckily killed himself.
My God.
Spoken
Took
on that
himself
back.
out of the world. Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that. So I'm gonna let you guys speak.
Well, we don't support Nazis in general.
Yeah.
We should also make a disclaimer with that.
Yeah. No Nazis here. So Vito, what's your opinion on the song?
I'm going to admit it took me about 3 listens for me to understand this album. It wasn't love at first sight, but it was definitely love at third sight. You know. Yeah, it didn't catch me at first, but when it caught me, and I often find myself going back to it. You said a lot of the things I want to say already, and it's a phenomenal album. It's groundbreaking for the genre. It blends death and black so well.
Yeah.
There's people who argue this is more of a death metal album than a black metal album.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure John didn't think of it as black metal when he made it, but like, if you listen to it, it's definitely black.
I get mostly black metal vibes from it, but the instrumentation is very close to that.
It has a lot of Melodeath influences, which makes sense because Dissection was part of the Gothenburg scene. Like they played a lot of shows like At the Gates and In Flames and stuff like that. And Dissection, I'm pretty sure John was friends with At the Gates. For like during like the mid '90s, they put a lot of shows together and stuff. And they were part of that general Gothenburg Melodeath scene, so it definitely makes sense that they had that kind of like Melodeath sound kind of mixed with the black metal, but
But to deny that black metal as a whole is stupid because they are black metal.
Absolutely.
Even if like at the time you maybe could say they're more Melodeath, I think with the influence that they had on black metal, that alone I think makes them black metal. Even if if you like in 1995, yeah, sure, maybe you could have said they were Melodeath, but like today, with how much influence they've had on black metal, it's kind of stupid to deny their black metal sound, like some people do. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a phenomenal album. It was also one of the first black metal albums that I listened to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
And that,
Are you on?
sorry, I was just gonna
You
say,
go.
yeah. At first, I was gonna say at first when I listened to this, I was like, maybe black metal is not my genre because maybe just a few albums here and there, kind of.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I first listened to it, and again, it didn't catch me at first. And I was like, man, people talk about this album like it's one of the best of all time, and it just didn't catch me. So maybe black metal is not entirely my thing. Obviously, I was wrong because I love black metal and I love this album, but I'm glad I was wrong because if I just brush it aside and I could have committed a mistake probably. So didn't commit that mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what's good about this album is that it's a very, very good like intro to black metal. Like if you've never heard black metal before, I think this.
Especially if you like death metal, right?
Yeah, I think if you've never listened to black metal before, this is a very, very good place to start because not only is it like a contender for best black metal album of all time, but it's also still pretty accessible. Like it's not like crazy
Yes.
intense or anything.
Yep.
But I think even if you've never listened to black metal before, I think this is this is like one of those must listen albums. Absolutely missing out if you don't.
Yeah. And there's just
Honestly, when I first listened to the album, I thought it was sort of overrated. I liked it,
kind of my first experience maybe as well.
but I gave it like a 7 out of 10 or something. Like it's still good, but like
Yeah.
but that second listen, I will never forget that second listen. That shit clicked so goddamn quickly.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, I was such a dumbass for not liking this.
this album definitely completely changed my life because I don't think because like again, this is the album that kind of like really, really got me into extreme metal. What's it called? Slaughter of the Soul by At the Gates and A Jester Race by In Flames and also Clean by In Flames also helped. Those were also albums that I listened to right after I listened to this one. But this album like really like shoehorned me into really, really getting into extreme metal and really falling in love with it.
Yeah.
Well, if you never listened to it, this podcast wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Call that a butterfly effect.
Mm-hmm.
True that.
And we're talking about it now. Isn't that beautiful?
True that.
It is beautiful. Love music, guys.
Yeah. Oh, do you guys have anything else you want to say about Storm of the Lensbane or Dissection? Or, anything else you want to bring
I
up?
know.
I said it before, but I'll say it again. The cover's beautiful.
Oh yeah, yeah. The cover
I think contender for one of the best album covers of all time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%. It is. It is
so iconic.
Super badass.
It's that album's album cover is exactly how the album sounds.
Yeah. 100%.
It is perfect.
I don't know who was the artist of it.
I don't know, but whoever it was,
let me look it up.
give them a gazillion
I'm
dollars.
pretty sure
They fucking
I'm pretty
deserve it.
sure the guy who did that one did a bunch of like early black metal parts. Let me check. Let's see. Oh yeah, Necrolord. That's his name. Necrolord.
Pay him a gazillion dollars.
Let me see what else he did. Let me see here. Oh yeah, he did In the Night Side Eclipse by Emperor.
Peak, man.
He also did Sambalam. He did he did Massive Killing Capacity by Dismember as well.
Dude, those 3 albums are some of the best album covers ever.
Yeah. And he also did Sacramentum for Away from the Sun. I guess that album.
Mm-hmm.
Peak.
Yeah, this guy's done a bunch of stuff. We did he's done a bunch of stuff since. It's probably, I mean, this guy, probably the most influential, like, black metal album artist. Probably.
Because without that album, we don't get melodic black metal, sorry.
Oh no, I mean like album covers. like album,
album
covers.
like album cover style. Like if you think of like the
Still,
style,
without that album.
yeah. Yeah, this like this and the Somberlin kind of created melodic black metal. I think Oliver kind of like I think bands like Oliver and Windier kind of helped with that as well, but I don't think any of them like really defined it as well as Dissection did. And then
No band, no melodic black metal band.
and then obviously came a bunch of bands after them, but I think Dissection was really the first band who really encapsulated that like iconic mellow black sound that is everybody knows now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, anybody have anything else they want to bring up?
I want to talk about the drums on that album. Oh man,
Oh yeah.
who was the drummer on that album? Because fucking
check.
hell, man.
Let me check.
No, I never hear anyone talk about the drums.
His name was Ole Elman.
He also deserves recognition.
Yeah, and he's I mean, I think all the instrumentation on this album is great. It was also Don Swana from Edge of Sanity. Don Swana.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure I know he does some screams on it. Also on the song one. I think he also produced it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he did the engineering. Which I mean, hey, Don Swana, he's probably the single most important Swedish extreme metal person. That motherfucker produced like the amount of stuff that guy did in the 90s is insane. Like he's probably the most influential singular person in like Swedish extreme metal.
Mm-hmm.
That guy produced. He produced for Opeth. He produced for Dissection. He had Edge of Sanity. He produced so much, and he's still producing for like underground extreme metal bands today. Like if you know, Mother of Graves.
Yeah, I know Mother of Graves.
Yeah. One of the guys in that band is mutual on Twitter. I'm pretty sure Don Swanner produced their latest album. If I'm not mistaken. He is. He's definitely in the GOAT conversation, in my opinion, when it comes to extreme metal, and especially Swedish extreme metal. I mean, if you look at the amount of stuff that he's like mixed and mastered on Metalum, like the list just goes on and on for how much stuff he's done. I think he's the absolute GOAT.
I go.
Well, I think
very valid.
I think
that's
we
it.
don't have a whole lot more to say. Yeah, it became kind of a short one, but it is what it is.
No wars this week with it because the Brit's not here.
No comment.
Well, listen, short one, but still plenty. I think our underrated picks were very good picks.
Yeah, I think
Thought so.
that is probably all for us then. So,
Good episode.
salutations to everybody who listened to this fine podcast this evening. And we will see you next week.